Welcome to the Heidi Thorne Show. I'm your host, Heidi Thorne, and in this podcast, I share my real-world self-publishing and small business experience with you. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to like, comment, share, follow, and subscribe. Now let's get on with today's show. As I'm recording this, it's around the holidays and New Year's, and maybe your best friend or maybe a family member has just completed a book manuscript and they want to tell you about it when they see you. The person asks you if you'd be willing to edit, proof, or review it, or even be a beta reader. Of course you want to help. Then you begin to read the masterpiece just created, and all you can think is, oh dear God, how am I ever going to tell her how bad it is without hurting her feelings and ruining our relationship? If you are seen by people as a good writer or author, you will likely be asked to assist friends or family with their work, either for free or professionally for a fee. When a friend comes to you asking for help with editing, proofing, or reviewing, they may be looking for an attaboy or attagirl from someone they like, trust, and respect. They may also be scared to show their work to a professional editor or to the world at large because they may not be that confident in what they've created. So they've asked you, as a friend, to give them a safe space to share and test themselves. In both cases, the help they seek really isn't for their work. They're asking for your approval, blessing, or support in their writing journey. They want to feel good about what they've accomplished, but still may have some, or even many, trepidations. If you're an industry-hardened writing pro, you can relate to where they are. They're somewhat fragile and fearful at this stage, so even the least challenge to their egos can send them spiraling into self-doubt and lashing out. Here's a perfect example. I was asked to review a short story that I would class as romantic fiction. The author was really young and obviously had discovered a thesaurus. So in her story, she would use obscure words. Even though I had a pretty extensive vocabulary at that point, I found myself looking up words. When I called her out on the issue, she said I was just stupid since I didn't know what that meant. Remember I said how fragile writers can be at this point? Be prepared for it. I've been asked by multiple author friends about what to do if a book or manuscript they're reviewing by a friend or family member really stinks. They've gotten cornered into doing it because of their relationship and felt obligated. Now they're stuck wondering what to say. If to dodge the conversation about how bad the book is, you say that you're really busy right now, they will not let you off the hook. They accept that you're busy, but they're also expecting that you will do the review just as soon as you're not busy. And then you'll post on social about how much fun you're having on vacation or on the weekends. And you know what they're thinking? Doesn't look like they're busy now. Why haven't they read my book yet? Jerk. In these situations, you could just thank them for sharing their book with you, and you appreciated learning more about them and their work. But the "what did you think?" question will still be there. Was there anything you could say about the book that was a positive? This is tricky because you don't want to give encouragement for work that shouldn't be encouraged. But pointing out what you did find good could open a caring discussion about the less good aspects. Sometimes when you're arm twisted into reading a friend or family member's book, it may be a book that's outside your normal reading sphere. For me, that's fiction. I never read it. Sorry, I wait for the movie. But I just can't offer anything valuable due to my lack of experience in the area, either personally or professionally. In this case, you can say that while you appreciated them sharing their work with you, it's outside your normal expertise and you can't really offer any valuable or thoughtful opinion on it. At that point, you could suggest an appropriate editor or other resource which could help put them on the right track. But the best way to handle these situations is not to get into them at all in the first place. Your status as an author doesn't mean that you are automatically available or interested in reviewing any or all books. While it may be painful in the short term to say no, imagine what it would be like if you don't. You might tell your friend that it needs work. Then they'll struggle to change it to meet your approval. Then you're reviewing it again and again, often for free. Just say no. But let's talk about a setup that will cause less upset when you get into these situations. When someone asks you to edit, proofread, or review their written work, here are some steps you can take to help make this a constructive critique for the writer while preserving your existing relationship. You need to clarify what's going to be reviewed. This is the most important step. Shockingly, many writers don't know that editing, proofreading, and reviewing are three completely separate functions. Even if they do know the difference, when it comes to their own work, everything becomes an ego-driven blur. I have some articles on editing and proofreading that you can share with your friends, and I will include links to them in the show description. And it's really important that you have them clear on what these functions are, because often new writers will confuse editing with reviewing. Here are some questions you can ask a writer friend who's asked for your assistance. These questions will help the writer focus on what he is actually asking you to do. Do you want me to just point out errors in spelling, punctuation, grammar, word usage, or page formatting? This is proofreading. Do you want me to look at your work in terms of how well it expresses what you want to say? This is editing. Do you want me to evaluate if this book would appeal to a certain type of reader? If so, who is that reader? This is also editing or even beta reading. Will you want to know if I personally liked the book or found it valuable? If so, realize that I will be honest with my opinions, both positive and negative. Will you want to approve my review before I post it anywhere? This is reviewing. Don't feel comfortable with what's being requested? Just say so and say no. Or further clarify what you're willing and able to offer in terms of help. With whatever is being asked of you, you definitely want to convey that you are honored to be asked to help, but that you will be as objective as possible in your evaluation, and that any criticism is only an opinion of the work, not the friend's worth. You might have to remind your friend of this, possibly more than once if he or she is really new to the writing game. After you complete your evaluation for one targeted aspect of the writing, you may find that your friend seems disappointed, as if he was expecting something else or something more. If you are willing to spend more time on the project, and that should be your call, especially if you're doing it gratis, then ask another one of the above questions to determine what is actually being requested. I hope you found that helpful, and if you did, please rate, review, and subscribe to The Heidi Thorne Show on whatever podcast platform you like to use. I'm on all the major ones, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you like the YouTube video better, you just have to subscribe to my Heidi Thorne YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get an alert when a new video is up. I would appreciate it if you would share either the audio or the video with your friends on social media. My self-published books are available on Amazon, Audible, and Apple Books. All you have to do is go to one of those sites, type in my name, Heidi Thorne, and my author page will come up with a list of all available titles. If you'd like to connect with me, my website is HeidiThorne.com, and I'm most active on the social channels of Instagram and TikTok at @HeidiThorne. Thank you so much for listening and for your support. I'll look forward to talking with you again in the next episode, and in the meantime, have a great day.